You may have read about the 7th Marquess of Bath in the media recently, but what's happened? Hello, I'm Dominic Walker. So Ian Johnston is a senior associate solicitor in JMW's contentious probate department. So Ian, you and I have spoken fairly recently about the 7th Marquess of Bath, just so we can understand the rest. What exactly has happened?
Hi, Dom. Yeah, the Marquess died back in 2020, leaving a will which left his estate to his wife and his 2 children. Nothing unusual in that. However, he had an interesting personal life, having taken 74 lovers, or wifelets, as they were referred to by him, and leaving an estate of £23 million.
And I know that there's been something recently in the media about how things have changed. What's happened?
Well, as we anticipated with our original Inside Man video, we thought there might be a claim for reasonable financial provision brought by at least one of the wifelets. And that's what's actually happened now. Amanda Doyle, who's one of the wifelets who've been living on the deceased estate since 2004 in Longleat, has now brought a claim.
Does that mean that anybody then can bring a claim against this, what is probably a very large estate?
No, it doesn't. So in order for you to bring a claim under the Inheritance Provision for Family Independence Act, you need to establish that you've been maintained either wholly or partly by the deceased immediately prior to death, unless you're an immediate family member. So it wouldn't be the case that you or I could look at a £23 million estate and decide that we'd like to make a claim against that.
And it sounds very impersonal calling Amanda Doyle wifelet number 69, but I think that's what they've said she is. Is she likely to be successful?
I mean, she has a strong claim on the face of things if she's been living at that property on the deceased's grounds since 2004 and not paying a rent for it. But the court will have to consider a number of different factors in deciding whether or not she actually should receive any sum from the estate. We'll have to look at whether or not there are competing claims from other wifelets. I don't think there are in this particular instance, but they'll also have to consider things such as the financial position of the existing beneficiaries, whether there are any health issues that she may have, and indeed what's her conduct been like. And obviously the size of the estate here doesn't seem to be a problem. If it's worth £23 million, there looks to be enough there to go around.
And it's probably a unique situation in the fact that there are 74 individuals and the fact that, you know, this estate is really, really large. Not everybody will have that kind of money, but it's not a wholly unusual scenario for somebody, presumably at the time of death, to have another lover. How can you help those sort of more normal people, as it were?
Yeah, well, certainly I think the more normal situation that we might encounter where somebody's been left out of a will might be where they are the long-term partner of the deceased, unmarried, or perhaps children from a previous relationship where the deceased has gone on to enter into a relationship with a new partner. But it wouldn't be impossible, certainly, for a person who's been financially maintained by the deceased, be that provision of a property as it is in this particular instance, or whether it's simple monthly payments, monthly maintenance that's been paid on to an individual if they are their lover. So certainly it would be possible for someone in that situation to bring a claim.
Ian, thank you so much for your insight. It's a fascinating subject.